What's up YouTube, this is Mathwas97 and welcome back to my Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke. Last time we trekked through the Viridian Forest and made it to Pewter City. And I don't think I'm going to be in the condition to take on Brock just yet, but I would like to experiment. So I'm going to bring out Wilder. I'm going to go in to this first trainer. I'm going to fight his underling here. Stop right there, kid. You're 10,000 light years from facing Brock. Just to kind of see what I'm getting myself into. Obviously, he starts with a Geodude. I knew that was coming. So we're both at level 10. I'm thinking that level 14 is the over-under for Brock. I think his Onix is 14. His Geodude might be 12. So I definitely need to step up my game at least a little bit. So that's pretty good experience. Next is Sandshrew. I'm gonna test out Rattatator here. I wanna see how well Rattatator can hold her own against something in this gym. It's not technically a rock type, so this would be the best chance that Rattatator would have. Oh, geez. Sand attack. Sand attack. I don't like that. Please stop. Yeah. Could have been worse. Could have been better though. With my accuracy lowered, I do not want to risk that. Charchasm. You're not going to do well against these rock types, but you can at least take out the Sandshrew. At least contribute something to this gym. All right. Charchasm level 11. We defeated Camp. Light years isn't time, it measures distance. Well, this is not 1,000 light years, buddy. I can clearly see him. Okay, so now. I don't think I can get the running shoes until after I beat Brock, right? Yeah, because that guy's gonna redirect me. He's gonna be, if I go over there, the guy's gonna be like, oh, this is the town. This is all the things, all these places. Oh, no! No! I meant to say yes! Damn you! Get off my back. No. I'm not paying to go into that place. I mean, at least the music is kind of catchy. I just realized that there's a guy back at the very beginning who has a potion that I could have gotten. But considering I can't use items in battle unless my opponent uses them, I don't think I'll be needing many potions. I feel like there's an item here. But where it is, I do not know. Or maybe I'm completely off base. Maybe there is no item. That's right, it's hard work. Okay, sure, go with that. Nope, so there's no item. I did all that for nothing. So I can't go right any further. So I'm gonna go down into this patch of grass and do some more training. Everybody's favorite. Everybody loves training. And this is still Route 2, so there's nothing I can catch here. But I have to have my team in tip-top shape to take on this gym. Out of curiosity, how much can Socrates do on his own? Ugh. That's nothing compared to what this Rattata is gonna do to me with a Tail Whip. So I'm gonna switch out Wilder. You're gonna be my ace in this next gym. I'm thinking I'm gonna train everybody up to level 14. That's the number I'm gonna go for. But I guess the question is it gonna be better to train in here, or out here, or in there? Because if this is just gonna be Rattata and Pidgey, they don't offer much experience. And like level 3, level 4 stuff, maybe level 5. At least inside, I'm gonna find some stronger Pokemon in there, like I can find some level 5s. Pretty consistently. Come on, Socrates. Come on, Socrates, I know you can do this. It's all you! Yes! Get that level up. No! Okay, so I'm gonna go into Viridian Forest. I think that's honestly going to be a better place for training, at least for using something like Charchasm or Valkyrie. Outside might be better for Wilder, and specifically Wilder. Now I know your health is reduced. How much is Poison Sting gonna do to you? Oh, okay, that was more than I was expecting. I thought it was resisted. It is not. It is not resisted. Wilder. I know Wilder's not the best choice for this situation, but it's already weakened. Awesome, 1 scratch was all I needed. Socrates level 6. 1 more, and I'll be able to get a Butterfree. What I think I'm gonna do here, I'll just wait until like a Kakuna or Metapod comes out. Actually, no. I'll leave Socrates out front for that. And that way, this way, if I encounter one such Pokemon, then I can just fight it. I don't have to worry about switching out to bring in Socrates to fight it. I know it's gonna be slow doing it that way, but that's the best way I can get experience and the fastest way possible for this one specific Pokemon. And plus, Valkyrie can just do one-shots once I switch in anyway. Oh, but this is gonna be a really slow process. 15 per Pokemon battle. Oh. Weedle. Weedle. Can I run away? Yes, I'm faster. I'm not gonna fight Weedle. I'll look for Kakuna, Metapod, and Caterpie exclusively. Maybe a Pikachu if I find one. Speak of the devil. It's a Metapod. You're mine.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy MathWiz97 coming at you with a hot new episode of the Pokémon Fire Red Nuzlocke. Do you get it? Do you get it? It's hot because the fire. It's the fire red. Yeah. Okay, that's about all I got. This is a grinding episode, and I was hoping that... See, I recorded the original session back in, like, the first week of July. And so I thought, well, okay, by the time I upload the next couple of episodes, there's gonna be something... Someone's gonna suggest something as an idea for, something I can do with my grinding footage, something I can... Topics I can discuss. Maybe I'll ask for, like, a Q&A, you know, send me questions, and I'll answer them in the next grinding episode. Something like that. Some sort of gimmick to go for the grinding footage that I've got here. So,
Yeah, Socrates is evolving! We're gonna get a Metapod, the first evolution of the series! And I'm excited. Yeah, that is beautiful right there. That is beautiful. I could throw you like a frisbee. Our first evolution of the series, and surely it will not be our last. It will not. That is my... I mean, it's not going to be. Like, I don't even really need to, like, make a vow for it, because Socrates is gonna evolve here in a few more levels, in just 3 more levels before I even get to face Brock, so, yeah. Yeah, I got nothing for this one, because no one actually suggested anything. So I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna come up with this stuff on the fly, which, I mean, generally that's what I usually do in the Nuzlocke episodes anyway. That's what I do in a lot of my gaming videos, is I mean, there is no script, so everything is on the fly, but this time I'm not really, can't fall back on the gameplay because everything's gonna be super sped. I gotta have some sort of discussion to go along in the background, because this is not like episode 2 where it was, you know, some decent grinding that I could just do while commentating. This was like an hour plus of just training away, trying to get these Pokemon up to their peak performance so they could take on Brock. So that's what I'm working with here. I think my arm just popped. That tends to happen in, like, I made several Maths Wizardry vlogs, which, if you don't know, I have a quote-unquote vlogging channel. There's no actual footage of me, but I do, like, discussion things there with, like, static images or whatever. So I have a channel there. You can check that out. There's a link to it on my channels. I made a video, like, I made a bunch of videos over there
at the end of the month, and like I swear at least twice in one video my arms or wrists, something was popping, and I cut some of it out, left some of it in. I don't know what was happening. My bones are brittle, they're breaking on me in the middle of videos. This is not good. It's not I'm not in a good state of mind, not in a good state of being, I guess. Yeah, but for a topic, let's come up with a topic for this grinding video. Nuzlocks, you know, I'm good with the meta. I'm good with, you know, bringing in, I've made analysis of analysis, so I'm pretty good with bringing up meta topics. So let's talk about Nuzlocks in a Nuzlocke. Why not? My favorite Nuzlocks. Team 4-Star. They've got a good Nuzlocke. I mean, they did a fire, not a fire red. They did a leaf green Nuzlocke that was pretty entertaining, although kind of basic compared to what I was used to beforehand, but it was good. And it was even better when they did the Soul Silver Nuzlocke, because then you had this whole character dynamic between, well, obviously, with how Gold and Silver worked, they were the sequel, so at the end of the game, you beat everything, go back and explore Kanto, you defeat all that, then you get to go on to the end and face the player from the first game. So what Team 4-Star did was that they like twisted it. So their protagonist from the first game, Lakiger, he was the villain of he was the big overarching villain for their Soul Silver Nuzlocke. So then Tantor, their Soul Silver protagonist, went up and confronted Lakiger, and they battled, and it was cool. It was like there was a good sort of layered narratives in that Nuzlocke that I really liked. I said before, I think in one of these videos, that thought about doing an analysis of a Let's Play, or something, doing an analysis of that, the whole thing. I'm gonna work on it eventually once I get the inspiration for it, or, you know, maybe one day I'll just sit down and figure it out. So I've got a note, I have like a piece of paper that actually has it written down. That wasn't the one that had it written, but it's a piece of paper I have here. I have a bunch of little notes that I write while I'm at work, or, you know, just away from my computer when I think of ideas, and I write them down. Maybe eventually I'll make analyses of them, maybe I won't, but at least I have them, so I can go back to it in the future. Oh, hey there. Hi there, Pikachu. Huh. Let's see if Socrates can take on a Pikachu. I'm genuinely curious. Oh, yeah, Socrates could probably do this. Oh. Not if Pikachu wants to growl like that, though. Nah, it might not be as easy. Because so far I've mainly just been training Socrates against the Kakuna and Metapod. Ah, static, but I don't have shed skin, do I? Yes, I do. I do as Socrates. Haha. I mean, yeah. I realized what I said immediately. I do as Metapod. Socrates doesn't just inherently shed skin. Only 35 experience, though. I'm gonna stick to my Kakuna and Metapod. I also really enjoyed Maryland's work. Maryland has made some incredible Nuzlockes over the years. His stuff, as of late, I mean, now his channel has basically just become live stream archives, because I think he does most of his stuff on Twitch now, so, you know, good for him. I'm not gonna knock, I mean, obviously, like, I could complain, like, oh, well, his videos aren't as highly edited now, but that's not even the case, because, like, he still does the banners for him, and he does everything, but then it's just, I've never been a big fan of live streams, personally, like, even just being there live, I'm not, like, yeah, like, if you're there live, it's cool, it's a fun experience, so it's not that I don't like live streams, but just, I feel like if you're not there, catching up on it is a bit, it's not the same because you're not there for the live experience, so in a way you're missing out on the medium, and then at that point, when you're watching like a live stream archive, at that point it's like I'm watching a YouTube video, and there's obviously going to be less production values because it's a live stream, so you'll have him interacting with the chat, which isn't a production thing, but just, you know, he'll talk to the chat, and it's like, what is going on? Because obviously you're not there, you can't post a comment in the YouTube comments and have it show up in the live feed of a video that was recorded 6 months ago. But yeah, live streams, I think it's cool if you can be there, but when it gets to like, I don't know, because like, I've got things to do, I have other videos, projects I gotta work on, I have just other stuff to do, so with live streams, it's cool when I've got nothing to do, I've got time to kill, and maybe somebody's live streaming, and I can just jump in there, but more often than not, I miss live streams because I'm just busy with other stuff. and then at that point, I've missed out on the fun. If I watch on an archive, I can do it, but it's not the same. You're missing out on the medium of live streaming. You're missing out on that key component, the interactiveness of live streams, which is really the whole point of doing a live stream, is you can just, yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I can just hop on a Twitch and stream something and interact with people, and it's a fun time. It's better than just gaming solo. So I do like live streams in that aspect of it. I don't have any strong problems with live streams existing, because there's a lot of people who are big fans of that. And I know that Twitch now is like working on having like video archives, so you can actually upload stuff there, so I guess that could be like more, I don't know if that's just, well, I know they already have the live stream archives, so you can go back and watch them, but then there's editing, like, I don't know if, because like when they say you can upload videos there, if that would pave the way for more of the editing intensive content, like the stuff that I do on YouTube, and I could just upload it on Twitch. I do have a Twitch channel. I don't use it, at least I haven't used it yet, because I don't really have the capability to live stream at the moment. Well, it's more like my current environment, at least definitely the one that I was in before, not really fit for live streaming, and my potential schedule, quote unquote, would be very, very erratic, if that's the word I'm looking for, very chaotic, because my schedule is all over the place. Only now has it kind of started to settle into a routine, but even then, it could change at any moment. So I never know when I'm gonna be available. I never know exactly when a live stream would be appropriate, when it would be fitting, when I could do one. So live streaming right now, not on the table, though I'm definitely looking forward to doing live streaming at some point down the road when I have my own place and I'm hopefully committed to this full time, so my schedule is just an open book. And then one day I could say, hey, I'm gonna play, you know, Total Extreme Wrestling, the booking simulator. Teach me how to play this game. And I can just sit down and have a live stream, and I can make some type of content out of that while also learning how to play this game that I don't know how to play, and it would take me a while to actually play if I wanted to make a fully, like an actual proper entertaining series on it. Or I could do a live stream to Nuzlocke. I could do another thing Maryland has done. I know I've broken away from Maryland and I'm now just talking about live streams, but he's also done a sleep lock. Other people have done this as well, but like where you do a live stream and it's a Nuzlocke, but you can't sleep. So you just go and your brain slowly deteriorates over time and eventually leads to terrible decision-making skills happenings, and your team starts dying because you're struggling mentally and stuff. Yeah, it's finally getting the other evolution. It's taken so long to get here. Finally got it. And then I can just train everybody else and be done. Majestic. Now I forget, do I learn Gust first? I learn Confusion first. Nice. Alright, back to the grind. Going back to Maryland, what I really like about his Nuzlockes is how he's able to craft these stories. He's able to really... His Nuzlockes have a very powerful thematic and character sort of resonance. Like each of his... The creatures he brings in, like he's obviously crafting this very definitive narrative. And especially I would say in the Heart Gold Wedlock, because each Pokemon is put into pairs, so you have each, like the way each battle goes, there's obviously, like from a technical standpoint, a Nuzlocke is meant to make things more challenging because you're struggling in these fights, but with a Wedlock, it amps up the difficulty to the next level because you're limited to a specific pair. So you have 2 or 3 sets of 2 for each thing. And so because of how the pairs are split, you can't, like if it's a double battle, you're stuck with those 2, you can't switch out. If it's a single battle, you can only switch between those 2 Pokemon. So it really handicaps him in a fight because he is only able to use 2 Pokemon at once to take on an entire trainer, and this gets even more difficult as things go along as he faces all these different trainers. So say if you have a bad type matchup and you forget to switch before you go up against this really tough trainer who you have a type disadvantage against, you're stuck. You've got to find a way out using those 2 Pokemon alone. And so, not only does this create that semblance of tension in that the battles are extremely difficult because he only gets to use 2 Pokemon, but because each team is, well, because all the Pokemon are branched off into pairs, you have to then, like, those 2 Pokemon are connected with each other, so it forms a type of bond there, like, beyond just a trainer and his Pokemon growing closer because, you know, through the hardships of a Nuzlocke, they become the best of friends because you can look back at all these journeys they've survived, and everyone is, you know, if they're still alive, the Pokemon that have died along the way, it's a good, in that sense, it's got a good, like, shonen battle story-esque vibe to it, just a Nuzlocke in general. But with his Wedlocke series, you take that another step further because you have 3 pairs of Pokemon. So you get, if someone dies, then that one particular Pokemon, like, if one survives and the other one dies, then you have someone to fill that role. So you get to see that character sort of evolve through, you know, the different Pokemon it pairs up with. You get to see how the battle strategies change based on the different types of these Pokemon. You get to see how things go differently. And there's just a lot of moments in that Heart Gold Wedlocke, a lot of really tough, almost challenge, like he's almost defeated in a couple instances, and it's just really interesting how the story plays out. You have, really, by the end of it, you have these 2 Pokemon who have been there from, like, the very beginning, because, like, everyone else gets massacred in this one fight, and it's really, like, then you really get attached to the 2 survivors, and so they go on, and it's the least you would expect. You wouldn't expect it to be the 2 Pokemon that survive, but they do, they survive. And especially if you look back to the very beginning of that series and you see him catch this one Pokemon and you think, oh my god, he just caught that and he's gonna have to stick with that now. And then as the story progresses, that Pokemon becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's one of the sole survivors in this big massacre. And so the challenge carries on. There's almost like, in that sense, it's kind of a halfway point in the story, because you have the first half, which is the humble beginnings. You have the team of 6 as they grow and go up and take on bigger and better things, and then after it looks like they've taken on everything, they get these big victories, and then hardship. They are just crushed in this battle, and after that happens, all that's left are 2. It's just the one pair, and they have to pick up the pieces. They have to form a new team, start a new journey within this grand narrative, start a new journey within this still ongoing journey to become, well, to beat the game, to become the best trainer and survive the Nuzlocke challenge. So they go on, form this new team, and they go and go and go, and it seems like this team is unstoppable. And then at the very end, it's just like, it's so intense because if they get this done, then they've did it. They've made it all the way to the very end. And if anything happens, it would be a tragedy. And that's what I really like about Maryland's Nuzlockes, is that well, they all have a story to it. Any Nuzlocke will have a story. But with Maryland, he really embraces that narrative. He really, because like other Nuzlockes might play it up as, you know, more so playing into the game aspects of it rather than playing into the, like, in a way, I won't say that you have to suspend your disbelief in, like, this is an actual narrative that's taking place and we're completely ignoring the mechanics of the game, but I feel as though Maryland leans further into taking things seriously, leans further into treating the world seriously as, like, these are real characters doing, you know, very real things, unlike in another Nuzlocke, like, say, the ones that, I can't think of a specific example, but, you know, more textbook stuff where it's the difference between playing a Nuzlocke to just make things more challenging, to make a Pokemon game more difficult to defeat, versus playing a Nuzlocke to create a story, to create a narrative, to create characters that will be remembered through that story. I feel like that's what really the medium of YouTube can help provide to a type of challenge like this, because if you're just playing a Nuzlocke to challenge yourself, to make things more competitive, then like, if you're not going for an extra sort of narrative aspect to it, I feel like that's, in a way, missing out on the medium of YouTube. That the fact that you are uploading that challenge, I do think you're missing a little bit of it, but it all depends, because some people just do Nuzlockes to hang out. Like, the Team 4-Star Nuzlocke, they don't play it as seriously as Maryland does. They focus more on, it's just 3 friends hanging out playing a game in their gaming, what do they call it, on the couch in Texas. You know, Team 4-Star, they're just 3 buds hanging out, playing a game, and creating, in a, like, sort of, in a way, like a meta-narrative through it. But with Maryland, like he's obviously the commentator. He's like the messenger, you could say, for the whole journey. He's the one who recounts it all, because he's the one playing the game, obviously. But it reminds me a lot of the Nuzlocke comics in that, like, with the Nuzlocke comics, that is very clearly a story that is being written. You're ignoring, like, game mechanics, unless maybe he uses them for, like, throwaway gags. I haven't read the Nuzlocke comics in a while, but he very clearly creates a story out of that. And Maryland does something very similar, just with the video games, rather than creating his own comic. And I feel like he creates some really compelling stories out of that. Like I said, the Heart Gold Wedlock, it's just amazing going back and revisiting that. Well, I haven't revisited the series in quite some time, but watching it for the first time, I know it was in a way an emotional journey, because, like, and you'd think, wow, it's just a Pokemon game. But no, there's actually real emotions there, and he goes all out. He incorporates fan art from people so like, if he does a death montage when someone dies, he goes back through and, like, shows highlights of their most memorable moments, and he plays this really sad music. It's really emotionally manipulative, you know? But he goes through and he plays this music and revisits everything, and then, you know, goes through the fan art that people made of this Pokemon, and it's really heartfelt. I like it. It's really interesting how he really does play up, like, this was a character and their journey was cut short. This is a character who we've experienced, you know, things with. Sometimes the Pokemon don't last all that long, and there's not much to incorporate in these death montages, but he goes through it and really works to flesh out that character. And I like that. I like that part of his challenges. And it's not just in the Heart Gold Wedlock either. The very first Nuzlocke of his that I watched was the Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke, and he had these extra rules added onto it. It was a really good challenge. The Heart Gold one, it's tough to compare the two. Like, I think the Heart Gold Wedlock might have more of a thematic resonance overall, might craft some stronger characters, but the Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke was, that's another one of my favorites. Whoa, wait a minute, whoa, I'm being pulled into the void. Oh, I'm running out of time. I have to fill 10 minutes, and I'm running out of time. I'm being pulled into the void. Going back in time to the past. This has never happened. Nothing I've said has just happened. We're going back a month, 2 months into the actual time in the video. Ah! What the hell was that? Okay, everyone is up to level 12 or 13. I think I have done enough grinding. I've got Wilder and Rattatator are at 12, Socrates is at 12, Valkyrie and Charcasm are 13. I think that's where I'm gonna stop with this grinding. I'm still gonna have Wilder lead as the ace, so maybe 13 would be the best option, but I think I'll be okay. I don't want to go into this too over-prepared, if that makes any sense, because realistically, one Karate Chop to a Geodude might actually get the job done, and Onix might take 2 low kicks, so going in at a level or 2 under would probably be, will probably suffice. Anyways, thank you for joining me for this grinding session. I will catch you in the next episode of my Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke. Until then, keep on YouTubing.